Hey, y'all. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is 12:05 in the afternoon here on the East Coast in the United States of America. I don't know where you're at in the world, and of course, it'll be a different time for you if you're not on the East Coast, but that's what it is for me where I'm at. That's my reality. I wanted to come to you today. I want to talk with y'all about something that is near and dear to my heart. This is something that I dealt with. Is that how to be successful where you're at in life, how to be successful with the current employment situation that you have. I want to talk with those folks, especially those salespeople that are disgruntled. They're just not having a good time where they're at, and they're showing up to work because they have to, hoping that it'll get better. Okay. Hey, I appreciate y'all joining on Instagram, CIA Sales Academy. What's going on? Moonju USA joined. Hey, man, appreciate you. Appreciate y'all being on here. Hey, but I just wanted to jump on here just for a few minutes. I don't want to take up too much time. I like these quick ones, just a little mid-afternoon motivation. This is the time of day where, maybe some people, if you're a salesperson on a sales floor, that sort of thing, maybe the day's starting to go the way you were hoping it was going to go, and maybe it's not, right? Maybe you're starting to look elsewhere. You're starting to get on social media. You're starting to do things that are not directly related to you being successful in your current situation. So how do we be successful in a current situation? First, I'll tell you, I highly recommend you go read a book called Sell or Be Sold. Sell or Be Sold. That's first. Go get it. Just pick a chapter. Just start somewhere. But read the whole thing. But just pick somewhere, open it up, read a couple pages, and you'll probably start getting motivated almost immediately. I would imagine. All right. So that's out of the way. That's where I'm getting my information from Grant Cardone. This is his information, and I'm going to talk about my experience with it and applying it. All right. So the info from Sell or Be Sold. If you are having a difficult time where you're at in life, your employment situation, and you're starting to wonder, hey, I wonder if I could make more money going somewhere else. I wonder if it'd be easier. Man, they got it so great over there. And you can list off all the negative things, all the bad things about where you're at right now. Management, leads, the product sucks, the company sucks, service, I don't believe in it no more, all that sort of thing, right? Here's the thing. If you can sit there and just list off all those negative things, I want you to take a step back and start listing off the things that you are doing to control your situation. Are you just showing up, going through the motions, because it sucks, because management sucks, because the situation sucks, because it would be so much easier and better somewhere else? Here's what Grant Cardone says: wherever you go there. So if you're not happy with your performance where you're at and you go somewhere else, is it possible there'll be factors or variables that'll change that might make it a more enjoyable situation? Yeah, absolutely, sure, could happen. But you might find yourself in the same rut because you didn't change. You took everything you were doing or not doing and went to another place and did the same thing. If you want to change your situation, you got to change your perspective, how you're thinking about stuff. Okay? So the grass, he talks about the grass being greener on the other side. You've heard this thing. Hey, maybe the grass is green over there. You're looking at everybody else's green grass and your grass is brown. That grass on the other side of the fence didn't get green by magic. It got green because somebody watered it. Somebody put in effort. Somebody put in activity. Somebody trained, skilled up, and put it into play, put it into action. Okay. So here's how we're going to be successful where you're at. Stop listing off all the things that are negative about where you're at. It does not help you. It doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you feel better. I mean, it might for a moment make you all vent, get it out, right? But it's not going to improve your situation. So first, we need to start looking at how can we surround ourselves with positive information. Grant Cardone has another saying: no negativity allowed. Get rid of the negative information in your life. If you have friends, family, coworkers, other people that are around you that are talking about how negative it is, your product, your service, where you work, what you do for a living, even if it's not directly, but it's indirectly being negative about what you're doing, that is going to be a very difficult and challenging situation to stay positive in. So try to control that. Even somebody saying, hey, did you sell anything today? And you didn't sell anything. Oh man, I wish the paycheck was bigger. What Why aren't we making money, right? That's having that negative perspective on it, being like, man, I'm not selling, I'm not selling, I'm not selling. Start thinking about what can I do to start selling? What actions can I take? How can I scale up? Okay. First thing you got to do after you realize that grass on the other side of the fence is greener because somebody else put in the effort, you got to start thinking about, hey, I got to surround myself with positive energy, positive attitude. I got to surround myself with winners. I got to get the right attitude, and I've got to commit, not once, not twice, not monthly, not, hey, I pledged it one time. You've got to commit every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, to turn your brown grass into green grass. It's going to take work. It's going to take effort. It's going to take, I failed. Okay, now I got that. I figured that piece out. But you've got to commit over and over and over. You got to surround yourself with people and information and things that will encourage you to stay committed to being better, to getting better. All right, so once we've committed, now we've got to start thinking about, okay, what can I control? If you want to control your paycheck, you want to control your income and improve your situation, you've got to control your activity level. What if you find yourself on social media in the middle of the day, or texting people that aren't going to buy from you, or doing stuff like that? That is activity, but that activity is not going to contribute to your goals, to you improving your situation and becoming successful where you're at. So you need to focus on the activity that does one of two things. Hey, I appreciate the thumbs up. It controls the volume or the gross. Control the volume, the gross. If you can control both, sky's the limit. The company is going to beg you to stay if you can control both. Okay. So here's the challenge. Once you get your mindset right and you say, okay, it sucks, I work in a toxic environment, everybody hates me, management wants, they just don't like me, right? Once you get rid of all of that, it may be true or not true. Who cares? What cares is you and your success, right? How can you be successful right here, right now? You can come up with a ton of excuses. What I'm saying is all those excuses may be valid, but start listing off what you can do. See how easy it is to list off what you can do compared to what you can't do, what you can't control. Now, once we get that, we start committing to being like, nope, positive energy, positive attitude. I'm going to control my actions. Then we can start figuring out, okay, what actions do we need to be taking in order to control volume and gross? Once you start producing volume and gross for the company, guess who all of a sudden becomes star players? You and anybody else that you're teaming up with, right? All of a sudden, it was this toxic environment and everybody hated you. The management hated you. The leads sucked. You hated coming to work. You would end the day being like, yeah, that customer wasn't going to buy anyway. You go from that to all of a sudden being like, man, what just happened? What just happened? You're the guy that you're in the sales meeting and everybody's like, hey, Justin did this or Justin did that. Joe did this, Joe did that. Hey, go talk to Joe, right? They know what they're doing. All of a sudden, you know what you're doing and you get confidence. Competence breeds confidence. So it's a confidence issue most of the time. Most of the time, they call it, Grant Cardone calls it the 90-day phenomenon, where, a new salesperson comes in and they're just moto, man. They're just hitting it and like, whoa, this dude's blowing it out of the water right out the gate. It's amazing. And then all of a sudden, around the 90-day mark, they're not doing so hot anymore. They're not doing what they were. You're wondering what's going on. Oh, man, like this guy just thinks he's got a big ego. That's what it is. He had a big ego. Now he's coming down to earth, right? Reality, what Grant Cardone says, is they're getting some negative information from somewhere. They're getting sold on the idea that either their product, their service, something they're doing might not be right. They're getting information from somewhere that maybe this isn't as rosy as they thought it was. The reason that folks come in and they just start killing it right off the bat is they don't have the bad habits. They don't have the bad information. They don't have that negativity around them pushing down their zeal, their enthusiasm for the job. They're all, man, I mean, you tell anybody, hey, dude, you can make 6 figures selling, helping people, improving people's lives. When they start, they're like, yes, let's do this. And then as time goes on and they get beat down, everybody says, oh, it's the objections. The only reason the objections would be an issue is because they don't know how to handle them. It's a knowledge, a skill issue. Of course, I'm going to get beat down after I constantly run into walls and I'm just getting hurt every time and I'm not winning. So I would encourage, especially if you're like a sales manager or something like that, watch for those signs. Understand that it's more of a knowledge, a skill issue. They don't know if they have the support, not just, oh yeah, the support in the meetings and stuff like that, but people coming behind them being like, hey, today, what happened with this one deal? What objections did you get? How did you handle it? Let's practice it real quick. I want to help you get better at this part. I want to help you be able to walk up to somebody and say, hey, good morning, my name's Justin, and yours, and actually take them into a sales process and easily and comfortably and ethically handle those objections you're going to get. All right. Those factors, that negativity, that's all that contributes to you not being successful. Hold on, I got a comment question I want to answer real quick. What if objections come from poor sales presentation planning? Ooh, I appreciate that. Thank you, CIA Sales Academy on Instagram, CIA Sales Academy. Y'all go check them out, follow them, give them a follow. That's pretty cool. CIA Sales makes it sound like it's a super spy ring or something. Awesome. So hey, what if objections come from poor sales presentation planning? That is a great question, and I'm going to give you a short answer, but I don't think it's going to fully answer the question. And the reason I say that is we have 3 things in your question that I immediately identified. One is objections. Second one is sales presentation. And third one is planning. All those things are intertwined, but we'd have to handle them separately to really fully understand what you're meaning there. But what I think you're saying is if objections come from poor sales presentation planning, is you think that your presentation that you're required to deliver to a potential customer is creating objections. If you can give me a yes or no in the comments, let me know if that's what you're thinking. Otherwise, that's what I'm going with. All right. So if my presentation is causing objections, right? There's a couple things with that. Am I required by the company to present it a very specific way, or is it just like the PowerPoint that you're showing people? Oh, he says close. I'm close. Okay. Yeah, see, this would be a deeper conversation, right? But that's okay. So if I'm getting objections in the presentation, which I will get objections in the presentation. So here's what we need to learn. You need to learn what's called trial closes. Trial closes. And let's see, we've got this great book here. This is a good one. And I'm trying to think of another one I got for you. I got so many books. What we talk about? Oh, rebuttal manual. Grant Cardone's rebuttal manual. Check it out. But you want to do trial closes, right? As you're going, every time you present like a feature, an advantage, and a benefit, right? So you did the fact finding, the discovery, and you found out what benefit they're looking for. What's the dominant buying motive? First of all, the one reason why, and the benefits that are associated with that they would do business with you for. They're not doing business with you for the features. All right. They're doing business because of what they get out of it, the benefits, right? So as you present, you want to use some trial closes. And here's another thing. A lot of folks wait to the end to give price. Grant Cardone says, push price to the beginning. Let's get it out of the way. Let's be transparent. Let's be honest. Let's just be straightforward. Hey, this is the price. And of course you have options, right? Like I even have options. If you do sales coaching with me, I have options, right? But here's the thing is, hey, for the basic price, this is what it is. Or if in your sales presentation, you have a slide that lists all the options with the prices, you could put that first if the company allows you, right? And then you could say, okay, great. Because what they're going to say is, okay, well, that's a lot of money. Absolutely. 100% is. Anything would be a lot of money if I didn't know what I was getting with it. If I didn't know what it would do for me. What did he say? In order to not have objections, a salesperson should study their target so well that they know every possible problem and position, their product solution, and the answer. Yeah, absolutely. So I see where you're going with that. No, I appreciate that. So there is a limited amount of objections you're going to get, and there's certain places in the conversation you're going to get it, right? If you're talking about in the presentation, your objections, you're going to be able to predict and know what your objections are during a presentation. Okay, you should be able to, and you're right, you should be able to know why they're objecting to it and what they're really kind of asking and looking for. So, for example, if I give price in the beginning and we haven't even demoed anything, we haven't even gone into, like, for example, you go to a car lot, right? You can see the price on the window. Most people know that, like, that's not the final price. That's the sticker price, right? But they were given a price, so they know about where it's at. Then they're going to talk to the salesperson. Salesperson's going to demo. During the demo that is where you give your value. This is a secret that I learned when I was selling motorcycles and jet skis and things like that. If you have what most people would consider like a high price or whatever the case is, of course people are going to want discounts. They're going to want a good deal, all that good stuff, right? But where you really get your price for what you should get for being knowledgeable and being able to help people and service them and all that sort of thing, you show that during the demonstration. So you might be talking about price, they might be asking for discounts and all that sort of thing. Absolutely, love to do that for you. Let me show you the product, and we go to the demonstration. We do all that stuff, and we really show our value. We really give them exactly what they're getting from us in the company, not just the product, the support they're going to get, all that sort of thing. You build up that value. Okay. All right. So objections and sales presentations. I've been getting a lot of questions about the sales process lately. So we might have to do some segments on sales process and how it should go. Right. For me, I know that I have like a 25 question sales process where if I miss questions in the close, I'm going to suffer. If I don't know if I'm going to be able to take care of the person I'm doing business with if I don't ask these questions. So I need to ask certain questions and get an answer in order to know if we can do business together. So we got to understand that the sales process is not only for the customer. I mean, it is for the customer, but it's also for you to know that you can help and service this customer. It's not just somebody you're trying to get them to give you their credit card. That's not what sales is. Okay. All right, CIA Sales Academy. Hey, I appreciate the interaction. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that aligns with what you're thinking there. Looks like you enjoy this stuff as well as much as I do, probably. So I appreciate the interaction. All right, so back to real quick to what we were talking about earlier. Success where you're at. Success where you're at. I really wanted to just jump in here and give folks an idea of this concept that Grant calls greener pastures. The pasture is greener on the other side of the fence because people like CIA Sales Academy, like others, are doing the work. They're studying, they're training, they're learning, they're mapping it out. They're not focusing on the negativity. They're not focusing on, management doesn't spend time with me. They always just treat me like, I go in there for a pencil, they do it and they just throw it back at me and they don't give me the time of day, right? They don't sit there with me and like talk or be nice to me and stuff. Who cares? You need to focus on you and your success. All right. The way you do that, get your mindset right, commit to your success, start showing up every day with a plan that you developed the night before on how you're going to control volume and gross. Volume and gross. Don't sit there waiting for the leads to come to you. Yes, that's nice. But if you have time in your day and you're on social media or you're texting friends and talking about stuff, doing things that do not contribute to your success, to you making a deal and helping others, save that for after work. Save that for after work. Don't be during your money-making hours, during the time that you're supposed to be helping people, help people. Even if there's nobody on the lot, there's nobody there. Reach out to some folks. Use social media to reach out to folks and say, like, I talk about Macy's a lot because I love Macy's. I wish Macy's was an awesome experience. My last experience wasn't that great there, but their salespeople are sitting there waiting for people to come in. You'll go in there and sometimes they'll be just sitting around everywhere, right? You go on a Tuesday morning and there's not that many people in there. And so the salespeople are just sitting around. Now, I don't really understand exactly how their pay works and all that stuff. I don't know their inner workings or anything like that, but if I want my job, even if I'm a salaried employee or a hourly employee, if I like my job and I want this company to continue to be and my job to continue to be there and all that sort of thing, I need to contribute to the success of the company, to the business. We've got to get people interested. We've got to get people to even just know about us, right? Like I have no idea right now what clothes, boots, shoes, jewelry, whatever else. I don't know what's in Macy's right now. I haven't been there in a while. So why not reaching out? There's social media apps like Alignable. That's one that I've recently been on that you can reach out to local places and be like, hey, this is what's going on in our business. This is the sale we're having. Hey, check out this awesome new pair of boots we just got. It goes great with this coat, these gloves, this purse. I don't see too many people doing that. And I just want to encourage you to find ways to be creative. You don't have to do exactly that. I'm just saying be creative. There are some great people on LinkedIn. I know some guys and gals that are putting out videos for vehicles, motorcycles, things like that, and they do a very good job. Because it's not anything like, hey, come by now, those commercials back in the day, right, that you see on TV. It's more of, hey, check out what we just got. Hey, did you guys know about this one feature on this motorcycle? Like, give people value, give them information. Okay. All right. So how to be successful where you're at. Commit, get rid of the negativity, start planning your day, skill up so that you can control volume and gross. I apologize. I'm so sorry. There's probably people on here that don't know what I mean by volume and gross. So volume is quantity, right? Like, there's some people out there that have sold like 60, 70 cars a month consistently. Can you imagine doing that? That's amazing. That's awesome. I knew somebody that was doing like 36 units a month, and that was great, right? Can you imagine doing double that? That'd be amazing. How does somebody do that? How would you do that? And some people would be like, oh man, there's no way. You're right. Right now, today, there's no way. But if it was to happen, if that was to be your future, what would that look like? What would we have to do to get there? And start thinking about it, right? And then you start thinking about the skills. But that volume, how many units you're selling clothes in Macy's or whatever it is, how can you sell out your entire section of coats this winter? How can you do it? I encourage you to start thinking that way, to control your volume, how much volume you're putting out there. And also then the gross. So gross, volume is about getting known by people, getting them to do business with you, them knowing what you do and how to get in touch with you, how to do business with you. Gross is going to be about your sales conversation, like CIA Sales Academy was talking about earlier, about getting objections during the presentation and things of that sort, right? But your gross is going to be about how you build value in the customer's mind about you personally as a salesperson, as a human being, helping them, about your company and the support that is going to be behind this product or service that you're selling them. And then, of course, how the product or service is going to benefit them and improve their life or help them reach their goals. Those things, those items is going to contribute to the level of gross of your commission check. All right. I hope that helps. I hope it helps to give you something to think about. If you have any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments or reach out to me. I'll definitely give you some thoughts back on it. Or if you'd like to jump on a call with me, connect with me at the website on the banner there, thecommittedsalesman.com, thecommittedsalesman.com. Just a quick tidbit of info. The Committed Salesman, that name came from Grant Cardone's training. When I went through his training on greener pastures back in 2018, I think it was. I think it was 2018. I went through that training. I can't remember right now, but it made me realize, because I'm a retired Marine and I got out and I went and got a job, right? Totally wasn't making it. Was like horrible times. We can get into that another time, right? Decided to get a sales job. You don't imagine, like barely able to feed my family. And I'm like, yeah, hey, talking to my wife, hey, I'm gonna go get a sales job. Right. So anyway, so I ended up getting on Grant Cardone's training. Master the Cold Call was my first course. But then I started doing the greener pastures course. It's a module inside the training, and it's in the book, Sell or Be Sold. But you do that one module and you take it seriously, and you reflect on your own situation currently and how you've been treating yourself, others around you, how you've been treating your employment situation, it is life-changing to actually realize that the grass is greener on the other side because somebody's doing the work. Yours is brown because you're just showing up, and that's about all you're doing. You might think you're doing, oh, I'm doing all this activity, but really take an inventory of your time. What are you doing with your time? Start there. How many, not just how many people you reached out to, but how much time did you spend during the day not on an activity that contributes to your success, that controls either volume or gross? Okay. All right. So if you're looking to be successful where you're at, if you can stomach the toxic environment, the excuses, the negativity, you can put them in a box, put it aside, and focus on you. Follow those tips and you'll be successful. If you can't, if you get to a point, there is a point, I've talked with folks about this before, there is a point where you're so stressed out, you're so to a point that you cannot come back. Like you can't refocus. You just can't. Or there's situations that you've reached the top and you need to move on. So you just need to realize that you shouldn't move on unless you're moving towards something. Don't jump ship into the water in the middle of the ocean with no idea what you're doing, where you're going, how you're going to do it. Don't do that. I recommend against it. If you're going to jump ship, start planning, start figuring out, okay, I'm going to go from here to there, and here's why. Let me go talk to them. Like try to figure it out first. Even if it only takes a day to make some phone calls, do a personal visit before tomorrow you show up and you say, hey, I'm moving on. Take the day to do that. Don't just jump ship, please. Okay. So many people, I've talked to a couple people that have gotten in touch with me and they're in between jobs because they jumped ship and now they're trying to figure it out. You're in a bad spot. You're in a bad spot. I don't want you to ever be there. Hey, CIA Sales Academy, you got to run. Great job. Hey, I appreciate you. All right. So if you ever are thinking that, and you want to know what I've done in the past and what I know other people have done in the past to be successful at transitioning, please reach out to me, connect with me, committedsalesman.com, direct message me on almost any social platform, and let's talk about it. All right, y'all. Yep, I'm with y'all. It's 12:32 p.m. Eastern time, and I have another meeting in less than 15 minutes. So, all right, y'all be good. Talk to you tonight at 5:05 p.m. Eastern time. We got spouse stall close number 2. I like this one. All right, see y'all. Bye.